Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Dais, a podcast about the stories taking place in and around El Paso County, Colorado. I'm Natalie Sosa, your host, and I'm joined today by El Paso County Commissioner for District 2 and Board Chair Carrie Geitner, along with El Paso County Commissioner for District 4, Cory Applegate. How are you both doing today?
Good, doing good.
It's a beautiful day, right? We were a little spoiled last week with the nice weather, and today looks like we're getting some snow.
We'll see second spring soon enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I wanted to add that if our listeners are interested in more stories about people doing good in and around El Paso County, or hearing from county leadership about local government priorities and how they operate, you can find additional episodes on this podcast on your podcast platform of choice. All right, Commissioners, today we're going to highlight an important occasion, National County Government Month, celebrated every April. Commissioner Geitner, for those who may not know, what is National County Government Month and why is it so meaningful to you?
National County Government Month is an opportunity for us to really talk to the community, spend some time focused on sharing information about what the county actually does, what kind of programming and services that we provide, and just generally help citizens understand the government that is closest to them and that is responsive to their needs and is focused on how we best serve them.
And you talk about programs, Commissioner Geitner. What are some of the programs that you want the community to know about?
Well, I really think that some of the main things that folks, especially in the unincorporated areas of the county, I want to make sure that they know and understand our roads program and how we administer that, as well as how they can connect with us about road concerns that they have. That's very important to us to hear from residents on those items. And so they can do that through Citizen Connect or Citizen Connect app, or even online on our website through the Citizen Connect platform. So that's really important for them to know. And I just think having a general understanding of what county government is. You know, the question that I get the most often as a commissioner is, what do you do? And so helping them understand all the ways that county government is serving them when sometimes they don't necessarily see that. So roads is one of those ways, although that's much more visible than many of the other things. But for example, a lot of folks don't know that the sheriff's office operates the jail where all of our law enforcement takes individuals who need to be incarcerated. So the funding that comes from the county is really important and critical. They don't hopefully interact with that on a daily basis, most of our citizens, but it is keeping our community safe, and it's what commissioners do is prioritize things like public safety in our community.
Good, thank you. Commissioner Applegate, as someone recently elected to the Board of County Commissioners, what is something you've learned about county government that you think residents may not realize?
Just how big everything is and the overall scope of it. And just we've got a sheriff's department, and we fund their sources for that. And then you've got like the DA's office, the coroner's underneath that, our DHS. You've got public health. You got your clerk and recorders and your assessor, and your treasurer that works, helps handle the finances and the money. There's just a lot. There's just a lot that the county's involved with and a lot that the county has to fund and hire and fire. And you have, basically set that up. So.
Well, and it's. I'm glad that you brought that up because, one of the things that we are promoting for National County Government Month is the top 10 services that El Paso County provides that nobody else provides in this region. And you mentioned some, the jail. We have, several different municipalities where, our jail serves those municipalities. And so that is one thing that we do. Our district attorney's office, public health, DHS, some of those services that El Paso County provides, and people may not know that, just the scope of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you don't mind, Cory, if I jump in here too, I think one of the important things that I really want citizens to know is, as we're talking about all those services, is who administers those services, because county commissioners aren't in charge of all of that, right? We fund all of those things, but it's important to know what we actually have direct purview over, because if citizens have a concern about one of those areas, we want them to know who they can go to talk about those. So we certainly oversee funding and some of those departments, but of course we have an elected district attorney, we have an elected sheriff, and even our public health board that Cory and I do serve on is not it's not the same as the Board of County Commissioners. They have their very own governing board with, as I said, just 2 commissioners, but many other folks who serve on that board that make the decisions for public health.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that's an important, for people to understand that although it's within El Paso County, they have their own bodies that oversee them. So very good. Commissioner Geitner, you recently delivered the annual State of the Region address where you highlight some of the county's work. What accomplishments or initiatives from the past year are you most proud of?
Well, I am really proud of the work that the county is doing over the last few years, starting with launching a strategic plan that is really fantastic and really reflects, I think, our community. We very much took to heart what the community wants from us. So we wanted to make it clear to everyone what we value, what we are trying to accomplish. We are a low-cost, low-tax community, and that's what our community wants. We want to abide by that. And so the strategic plan as a whole is important because that is something that has been shared throughout our organization, and it means that our entire staff is aware of what we are trying to accomplish and is service-focused. But I'm also really excited about a few things that have been integrated. One of those is our snowplow tracker, which I think is really great. It helps residents plan where it's going to be clear for them when we have those snowstorms. It can help schools decide what the roads are going to look like when they're trying to decide, what they need to do with school closures or other businesses. So I think it's a really neat tool that is available now on our website. I'm also really excited about our new dashboard launch, which is going to provide even more transparency and accountability for the things that we are trying to accomplish in El Paso County. We really pride ourselves on transparency, and we are putting all of that out there. We're going to continue to improve that dashboard, but I'm really excited about that. And also our roads programs improvements. That is just something I know as commissioners hear about a lot in our unincorporated areas. And to be clear, because sometimes this is confusing for folks, roads that are inside of the city jurisdiction are generally owned by the city, and the city maintains those. So we're talking about unincorporated county roads. And those roads, we know we needed to do better for our residents. And we've really focused on that. We've put a lot of additional money, millions and millions of dollars of additional money without raising taxes, reprioritized and utilized some one-time funds that were received to really improve our roads. And then we've also used software to better use the dollars that we have available. And I think that's really important. I think you're going to start seeing more and more of that from the county. We are very data-driven now. We are really using technology to drive our decisions and help us come up with the best-case scenario. So we are now able to use those dollars to get better results as a result of some of the new software that we're using.
Good. Thank you, Commissioner Geitner. Commissioner Applegate, as you look ahead, what are some of the priorities or issues that you plan to focus on?
To bounce off of what Commissioner Geitner had said, I think infrastructure issues, I think the roads are kind of the big one. We always hear a lot about that, and when there's more than a pothole, there's concerns. So making sure like our DPW can respond on time, make sure they can do it efficiently, make sure they can get everything fixed. The contracting side of that too, it seems that the contractors, when we source out, they're notorious for, they set up a lot of cones, but they don't get a lot of work done. You see one guy digging and 4 people standing there holding a shovel. So efficiency with that is definitely much needed for the area, especially in the South. And public safety is the big one right now, continuing to make sure our citizens are safe, continuing to make sure that our officers and whoever else that works in public safety is just, they're happy, they're healthy, they've got, good resources at their disposal, what they need to do their job every day.
Oh no, and I was just going to say, because I know you've kind of gotten an onboarding or been able to visit different departments and offices and kind of learn what they do as part of your onboarding as a new commissioner. And so, what was with you talk about public safety, you talk about Pikes Peak Regional Office of Emergency Management. What did you learn about the work that they do?
Office of Emergency Management, they coordinate with basically your local municipalities and the county itself, and they highlight a lot of things, and it's anything from fires to floods, and they try to be there to respond to those issues and help, the resources, because it's not always, when you run into those emergencies, it's not always one particular department of public safety that can fix those kind of problems. What do you do when there's floods? What do you do when there's, like heavy blizzards and travel stalled? So things like that. And it's kind of interesting how they're getting their data and their network set up so they can coordinate with everyone, not only give commissioners in the county an update, but give the local municipalities an update based on what they're seeing and what kind of issues we run into or emergencies.
Yeah, I'll just add it also provides support, right? I mean, Cory and I both have a lot of small districts.
Correct.
Small fire districts and things that can pop up. And I know over the last 4 years, whenever there has been a fire, the local department is going to respond to that. But sometimes those departments are small and they need resources. And so we're always prepared with emergency management services to work with them. We don't come in and take over, but we ask them, like, what do you need to be successful on this? And I think that's a really important way that we support those local fire districts.
All right, Commissioner Geitner, as we celebrate National County Government Month, and you guys have talked a lot about the things, the programs, the services, and things that we do here at the county. How can the community learn more about the county, engage with us, the work that we're doing, or get involved?
Well, there are lots of great ways to get involved, and that starts with all the volunteer opportunities that we have. We have so many different boards, volunteer boards around the county that citizens can serve on. A lot of those are advisory, and that advice that they give is valuable for the commissioners. So encourage anyone who wants to get involved to apply for some of those boards. Those are all available on our website, all those opportunities. And there is really, I think, something for everyone. That could be anything from our Community Corrections Board to our block grant boards. We have 2 boards that do advice for block grant boards. We have parks boards. So there are lots of different ways for folks to get involved. And I'll also take this opportunity to say another great way to learn more about the county is through our Citizen College. That is going to be coming up again this year, and that's something where residents have the ability to come in and learn about all the different areas of the county. So it's a really fantastic experience if you really want to understand what the county does.
All right, before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share, whether it's about the meaning behind National County Government or something you want listeners to know about El Paso County? I'll start with you, Commissioner Applegate.
Meetings are almost every Tuesday during the week, 9 o'clock, Centennial Hall, 200 South Cascade Avenue. Please come down. Come, do public comment for 3 minutes, ask about process, ask to see our agenda and see what we're covering and going over and voting on. And by all means, if you can't make it, please phone in and, voice your opinions. It's good to hear from the public. It's good to know what the rhetoric is from the different districts and what everybody's, their concerns are and their needs are. So we can't, it's good to operate when you know what people are, asking for. So
no, that's a good point. You bringing up the Board of County Commissioner meetings, and for our listeners, I'll be sharing our website here where you'll be able to learn about those meetings and other opportunities to be able to get involved with the county. But one of the things also, is hearing from the residents, but also there are a lot of decisions that are being made during these meetings. So, residents can learn a lot about, how county government works, some of the things that we're prioritizing and doing that may directly impact them. So.
And ask lots of questions.
Don't
be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask staff or the commissioners lots of questions. So,
yes. Very good. Commissioner Geitner?
Yeah, I'll just say I really appreciate, I think that's a really important part that you can come down to our meetings in person. We love to see people in person here, but you can also watch them online. If you're at work or at home and you can't get down to the Board of County Commissioners, we understand folks are very busy, then you can certainly watch those things online, and they're streamed on multiple platforms so that folks can interact. I think, as Commissioner Applegate stated, it's something that we want to hear about items, but that's not the only way to come and give us your thoughts either. You can certainly always connect with commissioners, again, through Citizen Connect, and you can write into your commissioner, and if you have thoughts or concerns or anything that you want to relay to us, we are not just available at meetings. We are here, 5 days a week, and we are able to connect in other ways. That doesn't mean that we are always available to pick up the phone when you call, and you can also call us because we do have very busy schedules with lots of meetings that are constantly going on, but we do have staff members here to assist as well. So even if you don't get us when you pick up the phone and give us a call, we will have someone here to assist you, and that's very important to us.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Geitner and Commissioner Applegate. I appreciate you both taking the time to join me today and tell us about the work that El Paso County is doing. I also want to, just remind our listeners that this month is National County Government Month, and we are going to be sharing information about the services and programs through our social media, El Paso County social media. Also, you can always visit our website at www.elpasoco.com to learn about meetings, to learn about boards and commissions, that opportunities for you to join, as well as Citizen Connect and other things that we talked about today. So with that, if you're also interested in listening to additional episodes of Beyond the Dais, be sure to look for us on Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.